I apologize in advance for the lighting, and I just wanted to do this intro here so it's a little bit better. You can see what we're kind of looking at before we get started. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a fall makeup look, just kind of some inspiration for makeup in the fall season. I will be using Savvy Minerals Young Living makeup, so if you want to learn how to particularly use essential oil-based makeup, then this video is also for you. If you have any other regular makeup, this should work too. Just try to find some similar colors to the eyeshadow palette that I use. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it down below. Also subscribe if you want to see more content like this one, and also other videos about lifestyle and beauty content for Christian young women. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Also, just pointing out, today was not the best day to do this video because all of my lovely hormonal acne, but it's alright. We're just gonna get into the video. This is what makes these videos more relatable, so all thumbs up for that. And we're gonna try to do the makeup magic to fix those blemishes today, so, or at least cover them up. Alright, I also have my lovely script over here like I had in my last video, so that will be off to the side just so that I can stay on task for you guys. So first I'm gonna start off with some lotion, just moisturizing the skin. I already washed my face, so we're all good with that. You never really want to apply makeup onto dirty skin. I'm just using the Genesis lotion by Young Living. I've used this in lots of previous videos, and I will link Young Living site down below so you can all get yourself some as well. I usually just tap my hands together and then just kind of split each side of my face with a hand basically, and I find that works best. Especially during the fall season, you'll definitely want to make sure that you're moisturizing your skin because it gets really dry as it moves towards winter, and when you're applying like powder, foundation, or anything that can dry up your skin, so a lot of makeups will dry up your skin, then you definitely want to make sure that you combat that with the moisture. And then especially during fall and winter, if maybe you add some more moisturization into your skincare routine, then that would probably be a good idea as well because it is so dry. So although this video is more of an inspiration style, I also sort of am coupling it as a tutorial just so that you can follow a step-by-step system to getting to your fall makeup look. So I hope that you guys find this smooth to watch, and I will break it up into chapters along and down here. You can click on the arrow that's over here and then see all the different chapters that will pop up on this side of the screen. Also, I have other makeup videos up here that I've done in the past, so definitely check those out if you'd like. So after I moisturize, I move on to concealer. This is the concealer I use, and I just use light 2. Just put on concealer wherever you want it. I usually spot treat and then kind of highlight as well. So okay, after we apply our concealer, then I just use my beauty blender here. This is also the Young Living beauty blender, and I used to get my beauty blender wet when I would use it, but recently I found it's been working better if I just keep it completely dry and don't use any water on it. After I have mostly like patted or dabbed in my concealer, I move on to foundation, and I'm totally fine to have a little bit of splotchiness with the concealer when I'm applying foundation. If I'm just doing concealer, then I obviously fully do it, but if I'm then following it up with the liquid foundation that is also by Savvy Minerals Young Living, then I'm okay with a little bit of splotchiness because when I go in with this, it will kind of bring all the other concealer out into my skin and blend it really nicely. Also, it will avoid the foundation being overly dark, if that makes sense. So what I use for my foundation to put it on is the Savvy Minerals foundation brush. This is the only Savvy Minerals brush that I have, besides the little brushes that come with the eyeshadow palettes. This is the only Savvy Minerals brush that I have because they are rather expensive, but they definitely are worth it. Whereas these other little cheap brushes that I have, they're not Savvy Minerals, are much more cheap, and this one survives much longer. So they're worth the price, but if you don't have tons of money, then obviously you have to do options. I also use the Savvy Minerals Misting Spray, and I just spray the top of my brush twice. And then I can move on to the foundation. So I just use one pump of this usually, and I kind of spread it as I'm slowly doing it over my face. Okay, and most of the time I have a little bit of extra on the brush. I accidentally got my nose there, on the little pump, so I just wipe that onto my brush to clean off that, and then I can put that away. A tip I have for you if you're a beginner at makeup, you always want to make sure that you get your foundation all the way to the edge of your face and kind of under a little bit, so that you don't look like, so you don't have a makeup line. Also, if you need to, you can kind of bring it down a little bit into your neck and then just kind of smooth it out like that. That's only if you need to. I would encourage you, if you're kind of getting a really different color of your makeup of your face to your neck, then you may need to get a lighter shade of your foundation. If you need a quick fix, then I would recommend keep the concealer on your face, kind of in those globs in your areas that you'd like to put them, and then put on your foundation and kind of do them together, and that will kind of mix that lighter shade of the concealer with your foundation, kind of light up your foundation a little bit. I feel like this light is making me look super pale right now, so I kind of want to change it up. That's a little better, not quite sure. Anyways, I finished my foundation. I would like to go back in with some concealer though on my biggest acne spots, and just kind of make those a little bit less visible if possible. By the way, I have a big mirror over here. That's why I keep looking here. Alright, we have completed our foundation and concealer steps. The next step that I like to do is bronzer, especially for fall. It makes it really nice and glowy, and although the temperatures are dropping and it's getting colder, usually your tan starts to kind of go away, but in fall you have that really pretty seasonal change of the leaves where it's red and you have a little bit yellow and kind of golden hour every single day almost if it's sunny. So I just have a cheap brush here, but it is angled, so it does have an angle here. So I use the bronzer that's by Young Living, and I use the Crowned All Over bronzer. So the logo has pretty much gone, but you can still see the bottom here, and it's just crowned all over on the bronzer. So what I do with this is kind of, I kind of shake it down, and then obviously unscrew the lid, and then I flip it over like this, and you can see how this still has some powder on the lid, and that's what I use on my brush. So if I need to, I kind of shake it a little bit, but it really doesn't, it's really usually fine. So then what I do is I just take my brush here, put it into the lid and just spin it around. Then I shake off the excess onto the lid, and there's kind of a lot of bronzer in here, so basic tutorial of bronzer, just kind of start up here on your forehead and go down, and then here, and then go back, and then down on your chin. Just kind of do a 3, and then I add a little bit more bronzer to that, but we're gonna start off with that. Start on the forehead, come down here, go back, up it, and then down and around. And that's your basic bronzer look. Nothing versus a little bit of that. It doesn't exactly look perfect yet, but you can kind of see the shadowing difference already of the bronzer. Now what I do is I also tap either side of my nose here and then also here. I just kind of tap it twice and kind of just do that. After I've initially applied all the bronzer, I just kind of go back to this main area here and just kind of circular motions and kind of go up with it. Just kind of like that, and then I go back over everything, trying to just smooth it out a little bit. And rather than applying more bronzer when I'm going back over with my brush, it usually just kind of blends it in a little bit more. That's why I kind of shake it off so much with the lid. Also, if you need to, you can always like incrementally shake it off after you do the original application of the kind of like the 3 and backwards E thing. Before we get onto the eyeshadow though, I'm going to be using my powder foundation, also in the number 2, but this is just warm 2 for this. But what I do is, it's basically out. I take the same bronzer brush and rub it as much as I can into this lid if there's anything in there. Since there's so little left, I need to rub it in here too. But usually I would just repeat the same process with the bronzer and just do that lid technique. But since it's kind of out, I also use it in this. And you can kind of see how it has still a little bit of bronzer left, but also some of that lighter powder on it. So I use this, I kind of dab it in underneath my eyes, and then I kind of rub it around everywhere else. This can get a little bit tricky if there's still tons of bronzer on your brush. So I would just encourage you to make sure that you don't have tons of bronzer still on your brush, or you use a completely different brush if necessary. Also, I just realized I forgot my primer, so that's okay. I usually put on the primer after the moisturization step. After I moisturize, I put on the primer and then wait a second. But I forgot it, that's okay. If you forget the primer, no big deal. You're fine. It just may not stay on as long. So I also have this eyebrow and lash wand by e.l.f. I accidentally cut my eyebrows a little bit short over here, as you can see, but you only see that when it's really close up, so it's fine. But over here, I just kind of go up, and then I angle it this way and go over, and then go down. That's kind of what I do there. It's relatively my normal eyebrow shape, but obviously you need a little bit of help with your eyebrows, just like you brush your hair every morning. You need still that help with your eyebrows. Very simple, not gonna do anything super fancy. Next, onto eyeshadow. I'm using the Sahara Desert palette of eyeshadow, and this has 4 colors in it. So forgive my mirror, it's very dirty, but anyways. So we have Cloud 9, and then we have Elite, VIP, and Drift. So the colors that we'll be using today is Cloud 9, Drift, and VIP. I'm not going to be using Elite, although it would be lovely for the fall season. I'm not going to be using it in this video. I have the e.l.f. C brush here, and I'll just start off with this. And I'm going to use this on the color Drift. That's this brown color here. It's going to tap it twice and then bang off the rest. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cover the whole lid with this. So we're going to start down here in the corner. Just going to rub that on. And then we're just going to cover the lid with that. Starting over in the corner and kind of moving over to the inside of the eye. Making sure to get right along where the eyelashes begin. And then just kind of go in this C. And that's basically that for eyeshadow. So moving on to the other eye, we're going to do the same thing as we go. Alright, so basic level of eyeshadow is done, but we're not done. This would be like a basic kind of eyeshadow look, super natural looking. Moving on though to the next eyeshadow piece, I have this angled blender. This is just some kind of cheap little brush. Came in a brush set, nothing fancy, nothing like name brand or anything. We are going to use our VIP now and use that to sparkle this up. But before we do that, we kind of want to just bring this brown up some. So start on the lid, going back and forth, and just kind of move it up some. But now we can kind of add some sparkle. So what I'm going to do here is just dab this onto VIP like 3 times. Instead of like batting it off, we are just going to keep it on here. We're going to start up here in the corner. Just kind of do that, just pat it in there. Right, and then we're just going to repeat that process of keeping it on the lid. Just adding more and patting it on. And repeat on the other side. And I'm going to actually take this up above the lid now. Do the same thing on this other side still. Okay, done with that. We're definitely not done though. So now we are using this, and the name of it is all gone. But anyways, it's basically just a little sculpting sort of brush, not sure the name of it. Again, just a cheaper brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Drift here. And I just dab this on here twice. Tap it once. And basically use this as under eye eyeliner. So start over here in the corner. Just just go along the eye and just kind of pick it up about halfway through the eye. This doesn't need to be dark or anything. This is just a lighter brown shade. And it's not meant to really be like pop and noticeable. It's meant to be more subtle and in the background. So that's that. We have another step though. I have this little brush here that's in the packet with the eyeshadow. We're going to just use the smaller side of it. We're going to use Cloud 9, just kind of dab it in there twice. Tap it off. And then we're going to go in the innermost corner of the eye. Just kind of put it in there, and then we're going to brush it out with the other side of this flippable brush. Alright, there's that. And then what we do is we use this bigger side of it here. I'm going to dab it once, tap it off well, and then put it up here right in the arch and just kind of go back and forth with it. Then switch to the other side. I know it's not fully blended in, but just kind of switch to the other side really quickly and start at the arch and then blend that back and forth. And then we're going to do lots of blending up and down of kind of that brown color into that white there. Blend anything else in if it needs to be blended in, and then we can move on to the eyelashes. So we are going to use our eyelash curler, and I think most everyone knows how to use eyelash curler. The best tip I can give you though is to crunch it, whatever the word is, a lot. Crimp, I think, is the word I was looking for. Obviously don't pull on your lashes. Basically just make it do its job. After you do that, you can move on to your mascara. I am also using the Savvy Minerals mascara. I'm using their lengthening option. It's the first eyeshadow. This is the first mascara from Savvy Minerals that I'm using, and I really like it a lot. It is a little bit of a learning curve though, because it goes on so well. So I would encourage you to try it at home before you do it, and then just go out into the world with it, because it can easily get on you. Just kind of don't layer it on too much. Best tips for mascara I can give you is kind of blink into your brush. So push it in and blink, blink, and then it'll go on a little bit better. That's the best tip I can give you for mascara. Obviously this is not a huge in-depth tutorial, so I can make another video, of course, on like beginner's guide to makeup if you'd like. Leave that in the comments below and I'll make that for you guys. But on this video, it's just more of a look and inspiration and semi-tutorial on this look, but not exactly on how to do full-on makeup. So, alright, so I cut out the light completely, which gives us a very different vibe. It's almost too dark now in here, but I think we can kind of view the makeup look a little bit better without the super bright light. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyways, with this look, I really focused on the eyeshadow, and I think that is the main focus of this makeup look. Also, the bronzer is a really big thing of it because it's fall, and you know, you want that fall glow with the pretty trees and everything like that. So eyeshadow and the bronzer I think are the biggest things of this. Obviously you want some nice mascara done well, and then I would encourage you all to do some kind of nice hairstyle that complements it as well, to not have it only on your face like a top bun. I would encourage you more to do like some kind of messy bun like I have here, or put your face, like your hair down with like face framing, something that's really pretty and fall like. You can also do like some kind of braiding, anything that's kind of around your face you want with these kind of bronzer heavy makeup looks, because otherwise you can look just overdone. And some people like that look, but personally for me, I want my makeup to look more natural and enhancing rather than covering, if that makes sense. So that is this fall makeup look. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I hope that you all were inspired by this look or are gonna try something similar yourself. Definitely tag me on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram information in the description. Also make sure that you comment if you have anything that you want to see next. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it down below, and also don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more video like this video, more videos like this one, or if you want to see other videos about lifestyle and things revolving around Christian young women. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the outro where you can watch some other videos of mine, and I'll see you guys next week. Also, don't forget to top off this look with your favorite like fall lipstick or a lip gloss or chapstick. I love using Young Living chapstick, although this video is not sponsored. I do love lots of Young Living's products and I use them all the time. So I love to use lavender especially, also grapefruit and cinnamon if you're feeling really seasonal or if you just want something bright and happy. Definitely check out those. I will leave the links in the description box for you guys. Also, if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them for you and I will see you guys in next week's video.